Hey guys, and welcome back to Trying to with Leah. Lately, I have been thinking about what happens after you start healing. Not the beginning part, not the survival mode, not the rock bottom moments, not the I just need to get through today phase, but the part that comes after when you actually start doing the inner work, when things start to loosen, when you start to feel lighter, more optimistic, more regulated, more like yourself, or maybe even like someone you've never fully been before. And no one really talks about how overwhelming that can be because once the chains start kind of falling away, you're left standing there thinking, okay, now what? When you've lived a long time in survival mode, heaviness becomes familiar, tension becomes normal, anxiety becomes background noise, and constant vigilance becomes your baseline. So when that finally starts to fade, when your nervous system isn't screaming all the time, there can be this strange sense of disorientation. Like you don't quite know what to do with all of this space, all of this calm, all of this lightness. And then, almost like clockwork, old patterns start popping back up. Old reactions, old ways of thinking, old urges to respond the exact way that you've always been used to. And you catch yourself thinking, I thought I was past this. I thought I healed this. I don't want to be that person anymore. It can feel discouraging, like you're sliding backward, like all of that work just didn't stick. But I don't think that's actually what's happening. But here's where the shift happens because now I can catch myself. And instead of letting that frustration take over, I pause and I remind myself everything is okay. I am not where I used to be. I am so much stronger now, so much more capable, so much more grounded. This moment isn't proof that I've failed, it's proof that I've grown enough to notice. I've started to view it more like this: when you grow, when you heal, when you move into a new version of yourself, life almost checks in with you. It's kind of like the universe is saying, hey, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to go back to those old ways? Are you sure that you are done responding like that? You sure you're ready to move forward? And those tests can be subtle or they can be really obvious. Something doesn't go as planned. Someone pushes a button you thought wasn't even there anymore. Life throws a wrench into your day for absolutely no reason. And your body reacts before your mind catches up. You feel that familiar surge of frustration, that tightness, that urge to spiral. And for me, that moment often comes out as this little grunt, just kind of like this, not again. And sometimes instead of grunting, I laugh. I literally laugh at how ridiculous the timing is, at how perfectly inconvenient it is, at how the universe is clearly saying, nope, not today, not like that, and not like you planned. And honestly, learning to laugh instead of spiraling has been one of the biggest life hacks I have ever discovered. Because laughter interrupts the pattern. It pulls you out of urgency, out of self blame, out of that go, go, go energy. And it reframes the moment from this is happening to me into, okay, this is interesting. Like, all right, what is this asking of me? How am I supposed to work around this? Is this a problem that I can solve right now? Or is this one that's just so frustrating that I just step away because it's honestly just a little too ridiculous? And sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away and just shake your head and say, that was wild. And then you can come back later and go, okay, let's try again. One of the biggest places that I've learned this deeply is in raising my son, as well as caring for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. Patience is not optional in either of those situations. And patience is hard in a world that's built on instant gratification. We are used to fast results, fast answers, fast fixes, and fast relief. But if you don't develop true patience, real patience, you never fully calm that part of you that's always chasing the next thing. The part that thinks peace is always one step ahead. And when you're always rushing, you miss so much. You miss the small moments. You miss the lessons. You miss the fact that sometimes the point is the pause. Presence requires patience, and patience requires trust. Which brings me to what I really want to talk about today: honoring what kept you alive. Because when you reach a healthier place, it can be really tempting to look back and hate who you used to be, to cringe at your old coping mechanisms, to resent your old behaviors, to wish parts of yourself never existed. But the truth is, all of those parts had a job. They kept you alive. And one of the hardest ones for me to learn to honor was my anxiety and my OCD. I've shared before how deeply anxiety and OCD affected me as a child. For years, my nervous system was flooded, constantly on high alert, always scanning, always hypervigilant, always preparing for the worst. And now, being on the other side of that, not waking up every day flooded with anxiety, it can be hard not to hate that version of yourself and think, why was I like that? Why couldn't I just relax? Why was everything so hard for me? And then when anxiety rears its ugly head again, now in the present, not to immediately say, why am I dealing with this again? But here's the truth that I've come to understand. I would not be where I am now if that version of me didn't exist. If I grew up without anxiety and OCD, I would be a completely different person. And sure, some people might say, well, maybe that would have been a better life. And maybe it would have, but it wouldn't have been my life that I have now. I am who I am because of everything that I've lived through. Every coping mechanism, every adaptation, every survival strategy, even the ones that no longer benefit me, they all got me here. And I am genuinely grateful for that. Am I glad everything happened in my life the way that it did? No. Some of it, absolutely not. But if I were asked to go back and change things, I wouldn't, because I love who I am now. And that version of me, the anxious one, the obsessive one, the hypervigilant one, she did the best she could with what she had. She does not deserve hate. She deserves gratitude. And I hope, truly, that you are working towards getting there too, towards loving yourself for who you are now. Because you are worth every bit of the love that you didn't receive on top of the love that you did receive. And some days it's really hard to give that love to yourself. Some days you just want someone else to say it out loud. So I will be that person for you today. Take a moment and really listen to this. You are worth it. You are worth all of this work, all of this healing, all of this effort, and all of this love. And the more you care for yourself, the more you heal, the more grounded and whole you become. Decide today to commit to yourself, to be there for yourself in the good moments and in the bad ones. Don't let what others think or say define how you see yourself, because their opinions don't actually matter. The only one that does is yours. And of course, if you ever need a boost, you can always check out my channel because I will be here for you as well. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for doing this inner work because it is worth it. I'll see you guys next time.